is one of the intern developers there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let me share a screen first. I put together some colorful information for you guys to be able to see. Um, so, good afternoon, everyone. Are you guys able to see my presentation back here? Okay, lovely. Um, Well, let's start with some number that should excite everyone in this room because by 2050, Africa will have about over 600 million young people entering the workforce. That's not just a number. That means the word large is the concentration of young minds, energy, potential in your continent. And but here's a question: when they'll define our continent future, um, will they gonna be the job seeker or job creator? Have you guys tried to find job to make some money or to be able to build your career? Um, I mean that's very meaningful. I agree. I learned a lot on my first job, my second job, my third job, but you guys time is different from I started my career about 20 years before, but now you guys really don't need to wait for a job because thanks to the advance of technology, you can create entire industry through entrepreneurship leveraging technology. And the difference between those who succeed and those who struggle, it real startup experience really comes down to it. So um yeah. So, I mean, I've been in the school system for over 15, close to 20 years, and I'm still in the education system because now I'm teaching. But education system is like a dinosaur. The traditional education teaches theory and how to memorize it, and then how to take a test, and then it encourages individual competition. We are ranked, and we're encouraged to go, to perform better, to beat our classmate, and then the attitude of risk avoidance is also encouraged. But um, what about the startup reality? It demands problem solving skill, creative how to come to the creative solutions and the team collaboration and the calculated risk taking. The entrepreneurs are not some crazy people who's enjoying taking risk, like gambling. We're taking risk to be able to accomplish higher return. Um, and then um, here's a kicker, and this should terrify every educator in the room. Curriculum updates take up to 3 to 5 years. That is actually true. It takes some time for educators to pick up what's going on, and then it takes another quite long time for us to persuade the school administration that we need something new. And then it takes a lot of time to create something and then get it approved. So it takes really up to 5 years to bring the new content into the classroom. But by the time some of the information is already obsolete, but technology evolves every 6 months. You're literally teaching students yesterday's solution for tomorrow's problem. So, I wonder what how many of you learned about quantum computing, how to design smartphones in the college? There's a certainly very huge gap between what we learn in the classroom and then what's happening in the real world. So, what if we flip the script? What if the startup experience become the classroom? Do you think it's going to be powerful? Well, I've seen it's really powerful. It is very empowering. It's transforming everyone's life, including our whole community. So, let me tell you what startup experience actually teaches and why it's more valuable than any degree. First, it transforms your minds because now you have ownership, your own stake. Instead of being passive consumer, you become a creator. Instead of waiting for solution, waiting for to make it perfect, your focus is on progress. So instead of working solo, you're bound to reach out for help and bound to reach out for the collaboration. So you build with the squad instead of just the learning theory. You practice it in the real world. But more importantly, it develops the skill that actually matter: technical problem solving under pressure, so consumer validation through real conversation, not just surveys, financial planning with the actual constraint, not theoretical budget, leadership when the stakes are high and the resources are low. So here's what no textbook can teach you: how to fail forward. Every startup teaches you that failure is not the opposite of success; it's the raw material for the success. So, but does this actually work? Are we just talking theory here? Let me show you the proof. Are some of your have you heard of these companies? Flutterwave, Sandy, or Andela 45 Gene? I mean, two of the example companies I brought here, they shut down, unfortunately. But and the two of them are still operating and they're pretty successful. So Flutterwave, this is founded by, I'm sorry, the pronunciation is a little bit challenging for me. Um, I, Nolua Aboyeji in the Nigeria. And Uh, Let me show you. This is him. You might have heard of him already. And Sandy, this is logistics company, and um, it's founded by Alois in Kenya. He's a university dropout who founded Sandy, and then with his team, and they served quite many deliveries and employ over 10,000 drivers at some point, but ended up, shutting down back in 2023. And the Florida Wave, um, the founder started the coding at age 16, but because he wanted to solve problem. Today, his company, Flutter Wave, is worth $3 billion. They process over 100 million transactions and employ over 1,000 people across Africa. Then this person ended up um, founding another company, Andela, which is focusing on the workforce training. So they've been training over 1,000 developers and raising over 200 million in funding. So the 54 gene, it was created by Abashi and Obong with his team, and that they used to be Africa's largest biobank. Got some pretty serious funding, but ended up um, shrinking it down. But you know, these are some of the example, but how do we create more of these success stories? So educational support, education really that amplifies success. The answer is not to throw out education. It is to revolutionize how we learn. So instead of theoretical case studies, we need to we need the real client project instead of professor who never. I mean, who's lecturing, we need the mentor for active entrepreneurs. Instead of individual assignment, we need immediate market feedback. So I really, here's the game changer. So because now you have access to a lot of global tools, AI tools, that's been democratizing access. Um, Now the student in Africa or anyone in the Silicon Valley has now same tool you guys can leverage. So the data backs this up is that student with startup experience are 3 times more likely to create job than traditional graduate. And when you get a career, you have a big picture. You know how the company's operating, what should be the more imminent goal, and then how to avoid the mistake. You're going to be a lot more successful with that experience. So then you have another advantage here too, because you're in Africa. You have quite big advantages. Your continent has been experiencing mobile first innovation. So and then you can build for fastest growing market with a lot of customer. And then another good thing is that you don't have any legacy. You don't have much of a legacy system constraint. So it makes it a lot easier for you to penetrate into the market. Um, and what you can contribute to your community is every startup create 5 to 10 jobs, sometimes more, sometimes less, but you're going to be the create contributor for the community, and you can retain local talent. Then you can build some innovation hub locally. You can also attract foreign investment. So now you have 3 choices: wait for someone else to create your future, try to be the job seeker, or and then continuously preparing for jobs that might not exist in the future. Yeah, thanks to AI and all the technology advancement, we're worrying about what kind of jobs are going to be surviving and what's going to be available. So instead of spending time worrying about that, I want to highly encourage you to start building the solution your community needs. So here, June is going to share with you how he can help you build the startup, and then so let me hand this over to him. Um, sure. Definitely. Yeah. So this is more about cultural thing. I've been working with a student in Tanzania, noticed a similar sentiment. Maybe because it's the society itself has a weaker social safety net, or it's the the traditional values that what you should do or what's considered to be the better future. But here it's a really good idea for you guys to take some risk where you're still in the college, or where you're still in the high school, because you still where it'll make you busier, but you still have a lot more opportunity to explore. The once you start younger, you have more time to explore other options as well. And that is certainly going to shape your perspective, your skill set. So I really want to encourage you to, look around, talk to your friend, talk to your family. Oh, what kind of issue do you have? Can I help you? Hey, I might be able to contribute by creating this. Do you want to try that? So it really starts from what you observe, what you experience, and then that little care for for the people that's in your network, your community, that's going to change a lot of things. So I want you to take that little step to be able to, change the mindset. Oh, instead of I learned this, I want to use it. I want to apply it. I want to contribute to make my community better. And then in the process that I can have fun. I can work with my friend. I might be able to make some good money. So good is out there. So why don't you try it? You'll only find it out once you try it out. That's my suggestion here. Sure.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. Well, my name is Kelly Biamungu, and I'm from Zimbabwe. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much, everyone, for being present and for the information that you're being shared. It's really informative, and you're going to act on it. However, I wanted to ask, for there is this enterprise that I'm engaged in. It's called Magic Meat, and what we do as Magic Meat, it's still a project idea, and the idea here is to start a sausage production unity in the Togoga refugee settlement in Zimbabwe. So I'm not pretty sure on how we can make this enterprise successful. Yes. So what are the strategies? What are things that we should put into consideration, given that you've managed to secure a 200 USD seed fund? Thank you.
You need to build your user base first. You need to and show what kind of problem your idea, your product, your service is solving, and then need to prove that it is meaningful. But at first stage, it might not be really feasible to seek for funding. Many of the entrepreneurs start with the family funding or their own money. I did that too. Not that then the unless so I'd love to suggest you go from there and build your network. There's a really good platform, LinkedIn. You can find people that might be interested in your item there, and then just to reach out to them and then ask for feedback, ask for help. Then that's what I would suggest. Try to build some user base and then try to constantly build some kind of channel to build the to get feedback and then up, um, reflect those to your product or service, and then reach out to the people who might have some resources. Brutal.
Wow. Yeah. Yes, thank you so much for the information, Lily. And we're going to work on that since we're a team of about 8 members. Yes, yes, we're going to try to develop an MVP and a product just to begin with. Then we'll see how it goes. Thank you so much.
Sounds great. That's exciting. Yeah, please feel free to reach out and share. I mean, demonstrate once you guys are ready. Love to take a look at it. It could be also a good idea to check out some of the competitions out there that gives you some reward or connect you to the right people. Um, yes.
I do have a question. Can I proceed? Yes, I'm based in Zambia, Central Africa myself. Now, the project I'm looking at is the processing of leather from pineapple waste. You process the pineapples, and then the waste of the pineapples, you produce leather, organic leather. So now how that process is done is that there is a factory in outskirts of our country, Mwenilunga, where there are a lot of pineapples which have been produced. Now, when the farmers produce, they sell off to the factory these pineapples. There are those pines which you can get fiber from. Now, this fiber can be turned into leather. I think at the moment there is one organization which is doing this. It's based in Malaysia, I think. Yeah. So now I was trying to brainstorm about the processing and the procedure. I am a production and operation specialist with over 8 years of experience. So I'm trying to scale up this project. I've done the business plan myself. I've done the financials, and what I'm looking through is where I could actually get finance and scale up this project. The benefits of this project to the local communities, like to increase the household, for household activities for the local farmers. they'll have finance in when they sell off these products. At the moment, it's just going to waste. That is one. Now, number two, I've looked at the systems implementation. It's workable. There is equipment in China and India, which can help me scale up this project. So for the past 3 years, I've been brainstorming on my own. I've created the structures. I've not yet started the recruitment. I'm thinking of looking at finance. I'm putting up my own financial base. This month, I'm registering it as an LTD, a company, and it has got a logo, it has got a name. Basically, I want your advice on what surpluses I should use in this. Thank you.
That is great. That what you're trying to make happen is amazing. So, first of all, I would like to suggest you look at the people who's going to get benefited from your service. So those are the people who's going to eventually pay, but they only gonna really start to pay once they see the benefit. So, but the effort to secure funding is really meaningful because in the process of that, you're building some people who is getting interested in what you're trying to do. So, what I would like to suggest is you go out to each farmers who's going to be your potential customer, talk to them, find it out how much they're willing to pay for certain services, if they can pay any advance, or if they're going to be able to partner with you in this product. You might want to also talk to your city or your the countries who might have some of the subsidies for this kind of effort. Or you might want to try to do some crowdfunding as well, because when you're putting your idea and then your service idea out there, people start to talk about it. People start to kind of make suggestions. Some of the people willing to contribute financially. And when it is added, it can add up to some meaningful amount of the funding. So what I would like to suggest is you need to do some math. I mean, you're very good at finance side of it already. And then try to diversify the channel where you can secure the initial funding. It could be the advance payment from your potential client. It could be crowdfunding, from the interested individual or your city or your government officials who need to also improve um, the performance of the farms as well. So try to think about who's going to get benefited, or in the net community that might be interested, and that you need to put yourself there. But
Just an addition of
curious, how much of initial funding do you need?
to add on. First of all, from the farmers, they'll give me the raw materials, which is the fiber, where I get the leather. Then my clients, the one I'll sell the leather to, are organizations extract this leather. Then on the quality control, that is where now I have the expertise to manage the quality aspect of it. And on the strategic level, that's where I have the strategic insight to drive the organization forward. So the only thing which is lacking is that information you're giving me of where to get the funding, and obviously demonstration of the organization, what I want to achieve, the benefits to the local community in terms of when they sell the raw materials to me, what the payments I'll make to them, it will improve their lives. I'll bring the product to the organization like Adidas, those which are making leather coats, leather shoes, and then they'll buy. So that's how this will be driven. So it will scale up to multinational. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Let me put some thought into that, and maybe we can continue this discussion after this Zoom meeting, as the time is constrained. Let me put my email address here as well. I'm not really familiar with the. Yeah, okay. Yeah, please do that. Thank you, June.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much. And I apologize for my joining the meeting late. All right. Thank you so much, June, and thank you so much, Soya. Or is that the correct way to pronounce the name, right, Kim? Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Stephen Muraga, and I'm the co-founder for NyamukAfrica. NyamukAfrica is an innovation hub dedicated to supporting African entrepreneurs, and we are based in Zambia. NyamukAfrica is based in Lusaka, Zambia. That is where our head office is. And as NyamukAfrica, we of course we have a product that we launched into the market. Like I would call that our flagship product. That how it came to be was as a result of our individual experiences as we were trying to to our hand in business. What happens most of the times when you are entering into business, sometimes what drives you to to try out business could be that you can't get that dream job that you'd like to get, and then you decide, I'm going to do something about it. You find a problem and you go right into trying to solve it. Sometimes in my case, I went on to have sales from the first day. Like I started making money. But having a business opportunity doesn't necessarily mean that you are an expert in every area of business management. For example, finance. Just to be able to do the accounting function for the business. So I went into a lot of trouble. Like great opportunities. I was handling a lot of money from customers. And then because I did not have that financial intelligence, I ended up losing that money. I'm misappropriating money, spending money which is supposed to be money for the business, and that costed me a lot of relationships. I lost money, and it took time. It took a long time to recover from such. So when I met with my colleagues, Frederick and Joseph, and we could, relate our experiences, and we realized that our story was the same. We had similar, experiences. That was when we said, okay, we are going to do something about it. That was when we developed a cloud-based accounting tool that is meant for small businesses. So that would be our product. Whilst we are sort of startup founders ourselves, we also so we're running a venture studio model of some sort, where we develop solutions in the hub itself, but at the same time, we open our doors to founders, especially if anyone is in Lusaka. I can see here some names. I've seen Likezo, you know, some of the people that really know what we are doing there. Our doors are open to welcome you. We would like to listen to your ideas and see how we can, you know, create, you know, the right environment, and also to, you know, reach out to our network to get the necessary support that you need to, you know, to go to the next level. So while NyamukAfrica is based in Lusaka, Zambia, back in the year 2020, when the world was gripped with the COVID-19 pandemic, NyamukAfrica, I think, was some 6 months old when we started hearing of the news of the COVID-19 pandemic. You know, all the plans that we had, we're planning to launch our co-working space so that we can, you know, start doing big things. All of a sudden, here there's this pandemic, there's this virus, which requires people to stay at home, meaning, you know, our plans got shattered right there at the early stage. But through interacting with other community leaders, especially I want to thank the Techstars community. Through being part of the Techstars community, I came to learn, you know, from one of the founders for Techstars, I think by the name David Cohen. So he had a webinar where he was addressing the community leaders and say, guys, we understand what you are going through. The world is going through something that none of us has ever gone through. Age-wise, you know, the last pandemic like COVID-19 was back maybe some 100 years ago. So this is a new thing to everyone, but we are the innovators, so we should not give up. Let's be there for our communities. So they advised us, no, you can use the online tools and start, you know, organizing programs, you know, just to give the community hope and facilitate. So we started facilitating online programs, innovation challenges, startup weekends, startup week, you know, in Zambia and Zimbabwe. Then it was that time that we realized that Zambia and Zimbabwe ecosystems, when you are looking at the innovation space, they are regarded as very small ecosystems. If you look at the population there, they are very low populations, and most of the times it's difficult to talk about you know, building a unicorn startup from Zambia, just focusing on the Zambia market alone, or just focusing on the Zimbabwean side. There's need to create like a bigger market, like within the region. That was when we came up with the Zambezi, the Great Zambezi Initiative. So Great Zambezi Initiative is like an offshoot of NyamukAfrica in a way. We are saying, okay, NyamukAfrica is in Zambia, but Great Zambezi Initiative is our arm that will then go and, you know, amplify the impact that we are creating in Zambia across the region. So how Great Zambezi Initiative was named, we have a very massive river in the region in Southern Africa, which runs through 8 countries. That is Angola, Zambia, Namibia, Botswana. You have Zambia, of course, I've mentioned Zambia, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Mozambique, as well as Tanzania. We share this resource called the Zambezi River. So that's how we came up with the Great Zambezi Initiative. Our idea was to impact the ecosystem, the startup ecosystem in Southern Africa, targeting these 8 countries. So how did we go about doing it? We started in organizing monthly innovation challenges where we would have participants from all these countries that I've listed. I think except Angola, we did not get to have any founder from Angola. So we'll organize this as a platform for learning for young people so that they can just learn how they can get started. Most of the times, I remember we had a team which was having a founder from Namibia, a founder from Botswana, a founder from Zambia, a founder from Zimbabwe, and a founder from Tanzania. It was so exciting for us to see, you know, that cross-border collaboration, and, you know, that is how Great Zambezi Initiative was born. So one of our major strengths or one of the skills that we have mastered very well is collaboration. We are always looking for an opportunity to collaborate with partners within our borders and without, which explains why we are having even this webinar today with the LaunchWith. This is our partnership with LaunchWith is crucial. Their platform connects talent from developing countries with global opportunities, which is exactly what we would want to see in our region or in our ecosystem. This means we can access a wider pool of skilled individuals and foster global collaboration for our entrepreneurs, and to create vital internship, empowering youth and building entrepreneurial capacity. So together, we would like to build a network of empowered individuals, yes, and also to build sustainable solutions that will create, great economic impact in our region. So this is just the beginning of our partnership with LaunchWith. We would like to explore this partnership further and do more activities, do more programs, and also with the help of you guys, the participants here, we would like to also to learn. We'll be reaching out to you to learn more on what can we do better, how can we be of more help. This partnership, how can it be more impactful? How can we be there for you? How can we create the most enabling environment? What kind of resources would you like to be connected with? What kind of people, what kind of partners you would like to connect with? This is information that we would like to hear from you as we go forward with this partnership. I'm not expecting this to be a once-off thing. We want to be talking about this partnership for years to come, and it should grow by the day. Thank you so much. I would like to end my presentation here, my talk here, so that we can allow June to take us through the LaunchWith platform. Over to you, June.
Yes, sir. Oh, sure. Um, as I mentioned earlier, my name is Sandra Chisi, like for the benefit of those who joined in late. So my name is Sandra Chisi, and uh, I'm doing my third year with the Zimbabwe Open University, studying towards a degree in software engineering. So I had an opportunity to work with LaunchWith as an intern in the software development field. And so far, what I can say is I have learned a lot in terms of like my first experience with LaunchWith, I was taught was like on the quality assurance, maybe like in the terms of the UA design, just to make sure that your user interface is appealing to the users. Then I got familiarized with the front end and the back end of any system which you might be working on which I think it was beneficial on my part in terms of being a software developer. For the school, yes, theory, I was exposed to theory, but it wasn't enough, as Saver mentioned, that practice is best more than theory. So LaunchWith has exposed me to practical. So I've learned a lot, and what I've learned, I've even applied to some software systems which I am supposed to defend for my university project. And yeah, I have learned a lot in terms of coding, back end, front end. Now I can say that like I can safely work on a front end of a system, and back end I'm still learning. Yeah. Um, Having said that, I'd like to extend my thank yous to LaunchWith for the opportunity which they availed to me. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? Yes, tell you Anake. Okay, so I'm working with my team to create a digital savings low to middle income don't really trust banks when it comes to saving their money. Why? Banks have like a big like the cost of like investing your money at a bank is slightly more expensive than having to keep it for yourself. But unfortunately, they're now using informal methods amongst themselves, commonly known as stock rolls or rounds amongst themselves. So that's resulting in a lot of fraud amongst people, as there's like biases and sometimes it's not evenly distributed. Or if someone, the one who's keeping the money, decides to just run away with the money, then everything is over. So we decided to create a digital savings platform. So mainly for people who are like vendors or we have our smallholder farmers and all that. So it's currently in motion and we're still like creating even like our business model canvas. So yeah, that's us so far. So yeah, we're still creating it. It's still an idea, still in motion, and we're hoping to pitch it at an ideathon and see where we go with it. Yes, we're still starting off. We had the idea all along, but we never thought of actually making it an actual startup. So it's up until recently that we decided no, we can actually create this platform as something that could actually start helping people in real life. So we can make it a startup, an actual company that starts helping people. We're five in total. Yes, so we have computer engineers, we have DevOps, front end and back end website developers, and yeah, so it's mainly a group of people who code, just different parts. Like some are good at front end, some are really good at back end, others are all rounders, and yes, that's how our group is. That would be fantastic. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Well, I'm not a mentor in like the business field, but I'm a robotics mentor. I help children who are like as a part of a trust known as Girls in STEM Trust and eLab Robotics. So what we do is we go in schools, teaching young children how to code, how to build components using into like full robots and all that, and then actually start creating using the skills that they learn to solve real world challenges, not just for fun. So that's when they start tackling challenges like renewable energy, be it climate change, and so many more, like the SDGs, amongst many others.
John, in my case, my MVP is cost to one because it's as good as I've brought the product onto the market. So how do I streamline that? I'm saying MVP. When I do the MVP, it's as good as I've already produced a product on the market. But before I do that, I need a basic equipment. Okay. Yeah, it does. Okay. 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 I get it. I get it. What is our next stage of interaction? I'm saying today, after the end of this meeting, we have shared our email. What is the next stage of collaboration? What is our next stage of interaction? Yeah.
Oh, yes, I had a question regarding how long do you expect LaunchWith to run? Like, anytime 2 years from now, someone can come up with an idea and you still be available.
Did you hear that question, June?
Oh, yes, yeah, thank you.
I wanted to ask the issue of intellectual property. How do you handle that sensitive matter when it comes to this is someone's property intellectually, the rights over that? How do you handle that? Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. So, I'd forgotten to mention today I had invited our university student representative president. So he's with the supervisor as well. So yeah, so like they would appreciate working with LaunchWith to help us build more ways of collaboration. So yeah, maybe if you could reach out to them.
Definitely. Pleasure to be here. Nice to be able to meet everyone here.
All right. Yes, thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
I'm glad that we could get started.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you very much.